Hello all, and welcome to the Leopard's Commune with your host, Bryce Echoes. Today's video will be the stepping stone between us and the good stuff, that being the construction of wire sculptures. Today you will have the opportunity to learn my method for wire sculpting. So enjoy this edition of the Leopard's Commune. Now, to explain my method for wire sculpting, I will be breaking down the different types of wire used for the wire sculpting. Then I will show you my own diagram of the effective use of each different type of wire. Now, as I've explained in my last video, the types of wire I use is galvanized steel, which is pretty much steel with a zinc coating to give it some resistance against rust and weather and such. I'm going to go from weakest to strongest, and they measure the strength with gauges. 22 gauge, the weakest I use. This type of wire is best used for fine details or for coating claws or teeth. Give it a more fleshed out look instead of a transparent look. You can tell if it's strong wire if you can just wrap your finger around and easily. Very easy stuff, very soft. Next, 18 gauge wire. Also zinc, of course. Also used for fine detail work. Easily just wrap this stuff around your finger. Easy stuff to work with. And by the way, you could get your hands on a lot of this stuff at Rural King. Now for the next wire, 16 gauge. This one would be mostly used for fencing. Of course, it serves best as the bridge between fine work and structural integrity. As you can see, easy enough to curl onto a finger. Now we get to the stronger stuff. 12 gauge. I commonly use this for structural support, basically just for the body, not the eyes or teeth. It's only for head, legs, body, arms. That's it. Note how hard it is to curl this stuff into a finger. Can do it, but it's pretty tricky. Very strong. Now for the final type. This one can't really get in Rural King. You got a special order this stuff on Amazon. 9 gauge. Toughest stuff. This one would obviously be used for structural support, much like 12 gauge. But for something much larger. Just look. See, you can't coil it around your finger, but you can bend it with some elbow grease. Very strong stuff. Now to the diagram. Now to get to the good part, the actual diagram. This diagram has a name, and I call it wire sculpting Method. 3 types. Defined as tiers. Now, these tiers are based solely on 2 factors. Materials and size. Now, tier 1s are miniatures. Tier 2s, life size, but that's also for tier 3s too. And now for materials. Typically you can use materials in all the tiers, so you could use a 18 gauge wire for all the tiers, and also a 22 gauge for all the tier wire sculptures. But what determines the size? When it's a miniature, I typically would only stay within the 24-inch or less size. But to be a tier 2, but not a tier 3, it typically would be larger than 24 inches, but smaller than 3 meters. Still a life-size sculpture of anything smaller than 3 meters. Basically a dog, a bear maybe, like black bear, or a bobcat, anything in there. Tier 3, that is a whole nother level. That's like a whale or a elephant, any of that. Only 9 gauge belongs in tier 3. But tiers 2 and 3 can use 16 gauge and 12 gauge wire. Now I make a lot of the tier 1s and some tier 2s, but I'll be honest, tier 3 I have yet to do, but I do plan on doing a tier 3 sculpture in the near future. Actually plan on it. I'm only breaking this down so I can make it clear YouTube is for tier 2s. But I'm also on Patreon, so you can get exclusive content on other sculptures that I'm not putting on YouTube, which would be for Tier 3. But I will do Tier 2 on Patreon, but only in the bizarre way. Like Tier 2 sculptures on YouTube, those would be just for regular animals and stuff, past, present, prehistoric animals. Tier 2 on Patreon will be for fantastical creatures. Well, that's pretty much it. The wire sculpting method. Proper distribution of sculptures in 3 groups. Tier 1, 2, and 3. Materials evenly distributed to all of them.
Well, that should do it for today. Hope you all enjoyed. Please feel free to leave a comment, like, or subscribe. Until next time, stay well.
By the way, the miniatures are for sale on a shop on Etsy. Check it out if you want. In April, there will be a special 60 to 70% discount on all the sculptures in celebration of my birthday. So, enjoy.